My name is Dr. Jane Goldberg. Welcome to my show, Musings from 20th Street. I am a psychoanalyst and I am the owner of La Casa Day Spa, a holistic day spa on East 20th Street. Today we're here to do the 38th session of my Really Real Reality group therapy show. And I thought last session I began by giving kind of characterological thumbnail sketches of past and present group members, and one of the group members pointed out to me that I forgot two people who are metaphorically dead. So I thought I would just quickly run through those people. Freud said that what you forget is as important as what you remember, so we could analyze why I forgot these two people. But the two people are Lana and Lillian. Lana came in here like a hurricane each time she came. She was very colorful and very outspoken and very in touch with both her love, her eros, as we've talked about, and her thanatos, her aggression. Sometimes expressed the thanatos/aggression in ways that were very confrontational and attacking to people. But nevertheless, she was certainly filled to the perimeter of who she was with herself, and was quite delightful on that level. And Lillian, I had high hopes for, that she would be a kind of old, wise, kind of goddess figure for us, but alas, she didn't last too long. And when I think about why, I remember that she talked about, it was around the holidays when we were talking about what people were going to do and the aloneness of spending holidays, and she mentioned that she has spent every holiday alone quite happily. And so I think her ability to kind of disconnect as easily as she did from us, perhaps it's a strength for her, I think, to be able to cope with her life with the amount of aloneness that she feels in it. But I think also it probably is one of the reasons why she felt comfortable leaving us. And I did forget Paul and Molly. I didn't forget them. I just neglected to mention them. And the reason why is because presumably they are still alive with us and just not here today. Molly, I know, couldn't come. And so Paul and Molly have to wait until they're here in the room to get their characterological thumbnail sketch. So group? Where do we want to go today? You're not saying anything today?
I'm afraid. I fear you.
Well, what I want you to do, I want you to learn what Walter learned. I want you to learn to cooperate. I want you to learn to speak appropriately. I don't want you to talk incessantly, and I also don't want you to be completely catatonically quiet.
Oh, all right.
I want you to talk appropriately.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of a lot of things, actually.
Well, when you said in relation.
I'm stammering here, and I don't stammer, God forbid. I'm just afraid. You know, it's a catch-22. I'm afraid to talk. I'm afraid to be quiet, and this is in real life too.
But what are you afraid of when you say?
Because people, when I'm very quiet, they think something's wrong with me.
And so, what if they do?
Well, I don't want them to think something's like they think something is really.
What are you, psychic all of a sudden? You know what people think?
No, people have said to me when I've been really quiet, they'll
Barbara,
go something wrong.
Even when I sit out in the hall with you and I have a nice time with you, I have my patience level is very high because I grew up with a mother who had the same thing, and it's hard to be mothered by somebody who doesn't stop talking, as you can imagine. But even when I sit out in the hall from you, I have noticed, even this was the first week, although you did chatter a lot, which is what I expect you to do. It was the first week that you asked me something about myself, like, where were you last week? Were you sick?
Oh yeah, I missed you
It was the
last
first
week.
time that you did that, rather than just about Barbara and Barbara and Barbara and Barbara. So I gave her a corned beef for St. Patty's Day.
Well, you know, this is what I
did.
fear
I brought a
too.
corned beef.
I also fear that people misinterpret my, like I'm selfish or I'm self-centered or self-absorbed, and I'm so opposite of that.
You see, just then, she wasn't quite finished. You know, she said about the corned beef, I was still looking in her direction. She laughed, and then she said something else. But you overlaid on top of her. You didn't give her communication a chance to breathe. And communication needs to breathe like wine. You know, you need to experience it. And you always jump in and don't really give people the opportunity to have their own experience of whatever they're processing, because Barbara's always right there in front of you.
Do you believe that?
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, and you and I, we started from a really bad point when we first did the show. We made a lot of progress. I mean, I've said that a lot, because I think we both have been allowed to kind of understand where we have both been coming from. And if somebody asked me, would we ever be talking to each other outside this room weeks ago?
No, I
would
don't
have-
talk. I just listen.
Yeah.
Let's get that part straight.
No,
But I
you
do sit
talk,
next
you
to
talk.
very patiently and listen to your chatter, which can be very nice and engaging. And
Would you like Barbara to be interested enough in you that you could talk responsively?
of course, I'd love it. You know, I'd absolutely love it. And I think she is. She just having trouble maybe. But you did ask me today for the first time.
I asked you how
I've known
your show
for
was,
3-4 months. The first time you ever asked me, where were you? Were you okay? Were you sick?
Oh, I missed that. Ask Kim. I missed you last week. I really
You
did.
did. You know.
Yeah.
So, Walter, you look like you're doing something here.
Keeping my hands warm.
Well, you're
that's
sitting
right.
forward, and you look like you're
You look
deep
like you're
in.
playing with yourself, Walter.
That wasn't what came to my
Very
mind.
expressive.
You look like you're
Saying he's in the
processing
moment,
something.
right?
I did
If he
have
has
something-
to, he has to.
I did have something to say to Barbara.
Yes. Here we go. Give it to me.
Well, that's
Paul.
what people are used to. When people say what you said, that something's wrong with you when you're more quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's what
know me
people
for
are
years.
used to in you. It's not impossible that you could get them used to something else. You know, that's possible. I'm not saying.
It's an extreme. If they see me at the other extreme, they think, okay, she's depressed or something's wrong with her. She's not talking.
And
Listen,
what's
I-
wrong
I-
for you?
I have
I
a
don't see that at
question.
all.
I have a question
I don't
for
see that with
everyone in the group, John.
I have that. That's
My question is, all of you, it's like, you know, I talked about Lana being a honing pigeon for going in for Barbara. The whole group is always, the communication is always moving in that direction. It's like water flows to that
Well,
point,
I think I
always.
know why.
Y'all don't talk so much to each other. So I'm wondering if the group uses Barbara as a resistance for the group not talking to amongst
point.
Well,
yourselves.
can I say something?
Not me.
I would like you to say something in response to what I said. though.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like all week, I was doing Barbara all week last week, right? She came home with me, and I looked in the mirror, and all I did was, I don't have a problem with you, and I don't have a problem with you, and I don't have a problem with you, and I don't have a problem with you, but I have a problem with you. And that's last week. That's all I did last week, was acting
People take
out
me home, you
chatter
notice?
in my head. And I feel like her personality is such a bulldozer that it's sponged into me. And I was stuck with this woman's talk
Try growing
And the only
having
way-
a child around that.
and trying to mediate it because I was actually annoyed by her. That
Well, I
I
was
was
annoyed by you,
acting it
too.
out.
I was annoyed
And the
by
more
you,
I
too.
acted her out, the more exaggerated I became.
Well, I was
And
annoyed
I
by you,
couldn't, and I
too.
was saying like, this is not something, it's not just her, but I tend to do this with people that annoy me or I have a conflict with. They tend to come home with me. And then I act it out. And I act them out.
Well, are you having any feelings about anyone in the room other than Barbara?
No, nobody.
Barbara looms large.
Well, since last week, yeah. So that's
What
why I
about,
did, like, right
okay,
now-
what about right now?
No, right now I feel calm and I don't feel that way because I guess I'm beginning to understand her. But I process people that way. It's a strange.
So-
Does anger trigger a processing in you as opposed to love?
no,
or-
I think other people's sort of what I would expect to be some kind of aggression or anger or some kind of emotional expression that comes out at you hard
Yes.
is enough to make me wonder. Is like saying, oh, well, she's angry, and I take the anger, I take what I think is her anger or your anger, anybody's anger,
Right.
and I'll take it home with me and I'll let it run through my head.
Like why? Like things like what? Like why did you get angry, or what did I
It's-
say, or
Yeah, it's a thing.
words
I call
or
it
gestures?
I call it the story of shut up. And the story of shut
Tell
up
you
was
about
when I worked at a job once. I had a coworker, female coworker, who hated me for whatever reasons, but she was very unapproachable, and she always had this rapport with people where she would be like, "Oh, shut up," you know, and she'd be like, "Oh, shut up. Oh, it's time to leave. Oh, shut up, you know, I'm so hungry, shut up." And with her, it was like, "Shut up." And so what happened with her, she hated me so much. If I said something, she'd be like, "Oh, shut up." And it became like, it wasn't, "Oh, shut up," playful, it was "shut up." And she became the shut up girl. So I would go home and I'd be like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." And I would say like, "Shut up." I was trying to, because it was like, it bothered me because I didn't like being told, I didn't like, you know, it hurt me that she was telling me to shut up.
And
And the thing is that she hated me so much, the shut ups became like exaggerated. Like she would say,
Right.
"Shut up!" And it was like you could hear in the other parts of the building, like, "Shut up!" And it was like a Tourette's with her. It was like a shut up. And so that stays with me.
you know what it's
And then what happens is that when somebody hurts me that way, it's like they come home with me.
Right.
So like I'm looking in the
John-
mirror saying, "Shut up," and "Shut up," and I'm like talking
John,
to
I
myself.
used to do that to myself too, but then you got to think about you got to work at 9 and you left at 5, right? And she was one of those experiences in that whole day. I am sure you magnified onto the negative one, and I'm sure if you looked, you could find 1 or 2 positive ones to think about during that day, and you wouldn't have brought her home. You magnified, you looked for the negative
Right,
to
sometimes-
bring home with you.
Yeah.
She's
as
really,
opposed to
she's
the
really
positive.
telling you what I said in terms of my thumbnail
The chatter?
character. Well, it's a kind of OCD-ness with you, that the chatter, you know, that you get on a linear track, and you can't, you know, you're on 11th Avenue and you're stuck in a traffic jam, and you're too busy thinking that you're stuck in the traffic jam to think, you know, I bet 10th Avenue is kind of clear. I think I'll cross over. You know, you just get real
Yeah.
tunnel vision.
And I've always used it as a creative tool
It
without
can be.
realizing things.
Yeah.
I've acted.
No, I could
Sure,
see.
sure.
I mean, this would be a great performance.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
thankful. But I'm not a
was.
performance artist. I don't
It
know
was.
anything
It
about
was a great
It
performance,
was.
but
You had me in stitches.
But I'm
Yeah.
talking from something real. It's not
But-
like I
but John-
I just see it as
So-
entertainment.
But just like I said, I know the antidote to Barbara's, you know, obsession with talking. I know the antidote. The antidote is the antidote for everything that's wrong with us on a psychological level. And that is just be here and now with what you're thinking and feeling. So if you're having any feelings toward anyone in this room,
Because she said to me last week, "I remind you of somebody. I remind you," and I said, "You don't remind me of anybody." And I was like, I couldn't think about it. And I thought of a producer here named Dobie Danger. She reminded me of. 'Cause
Dobie
No, with
Danger.
I said you had. Oh, you know, first thing out of my mouth last week was I said, "Oh, nice hair," and she like sitting. She didn't, you know. And then it was like.
I thought you were
know,
being sarcastic.
No, I was trying to be. You
I
know, you
don't
come
know
in.
you're
I said to you
sarcastic.
today. I said, "My, how lovely you look today."
Yes,
right?
you did.
It's just something I do.
Yeah,
She looks
well,
lovely.
yeah,
You
but
look
you know
lovely.
what?
Everybody looks lovely here. You know, but
When you
that's the way
said
I
you
am.
took me
Okay.
home,
Did you
So-
ever express any of the anger towards like this woman who did the shut up thing?
No, because it was. This is the thing.
Was
is
it
that
to
it was
her or by
intimidating.
yourself?
It was intimidating because she wanted to get me fired. So she was
Yeah, you said
constantly.
shut up to her.
Trying to needle you.
Yeah, and it
But
never
at home.
ended. It was her.
but John,
home with your actor,
John
did you
and
ever express
Walter,
any anger?
John and Walter, what about being in this room right now with these people?
Right.
What about Kay? If Kay looks lovely, that means you're having a positive feeling toward her.
Yes.
Maybe that positive feeling could actually be verbalized. Like, Kay, you look lovely, and the reason why I'm telling you look lovely is because I really like you. I'm having a very positive feeling toward you, Kay, right now. It might go something like that.
Jane's always she loves the love relationships.
Well, I love her.
You know, I didn't know.
I just love
I never know you're
words.
serious though, because
What?
you when you said that to me, I didn't know whether you were being. First of all, did I have my?
You do
hair
have
on?
that part about your personality that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could be it's edgy. So
Yeah.
sometimes people aren't sure whether you're being sarcastic or sincere.
That's what my
I knew you were
problem
sincere
was.
because you just.
No, you
I've
remind me
known
of
you.
Dobie Danger. She's brassy and loud, and she has red hair like you. She's a Jewish woman, right? You're Jewish.
Well,
Half
I might be Jewish, but I converted to
Okay,
Christianity.
but you
know, but the
saw-
Jewish part.
But the thing
really
is
should have
that you
no-
weren't that person. You were the shut up girl. You were a shut up.
Well, can I tell you something in response
And that's
to
and
you?
I didn't know. I made the connection. I said I brought now Barbara home, not Shut Up
Right,
Girl. Now it's
right,
Barbara.
right,
Yeah, but
right.
in response
and the next
to what-
time it could be somebody else.
No, but in response to what you said, now I was just as annoyed with you, but I didn't. As soon as I walked out of here, I left it. When it stayed in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stayed in Vegas.
Right, but this
I
in
didn't. I
Vegas.
didn't bring it
This is
home. I didn't bring
therapy.
you home with me.
Right, but this
I would
is
have brought Dee home with me, but I didn't bring you home with me.
but this is therapy, though. And I didn't think it was going to work until I had that breakthrough last week. And then
But you also had an issue with because no, you weren't here, but Molly, because we were talking about what was her face, Mackenzie Phillips, and
Right.
I really responded strongly. I think we all did responded strongly to your reaction about what happened with her, and that's what set me off.
Right, because she said it was a consensual, incestuous relationship.
Right, and you didn't believe that
And-
happened.
Right, but last Thursday she was on Larry King and she corrected that statement. She
Didn't mean-
retracted that statement on Larry King last Thursday. So she said that it was not a consensual, incestuous relationship.
See, now what you're doing now,
It was a rape.
Outside of you.
what you're doing now is you're going off to your OCD-ness.
Okay.
Instead of being, I mean, it's interesting. I'd like to know whether Mackenzie Phillips was,
I hope
obviously
not.
she was raped by her father if it's not consensuous when it's,
Yeah.
Right, but now I can look at
Incest.
it in an open mind now and say, okay, well, I can see it
So
from a
it's
rape
not-
point of view, but not from
John,
a consent.
it's
That's
not
even
that it's not
worse.
an interesting question. It's just not what the work is that we're doing here.
Wasn't that the argument we had?
No, that
Yes, it
no, but
was.
that's what's precipitated
Oh, okay.
our issues, though.
But
That-
the
that's
work
really
that
a
we're
non-issue
doing, but the
then.
work that we're doing here is what are our thoughts and feelings in the moment,
Right.
right now. And since we are together, there are going to be a lot of thoughts and feelings that we're having about each other. And like I said, that's the antidote to all afflictions.
But don't you carry that with you if you have unresolved aggression? Now I sound like Paul. And when you have unresolved
yeah,
aggression,
now you sound like Paul.
You're going to
Carol, are you okay? You've just been a little quiet, and you seem.
Well, we
a
never
little,
got to
You
her
seem a little sad.
teacher's pet thing.
On the Miss Perfect thing.
Shut up.
Miss Perfect teacher's pet.
Very good.
Very
I
good.
am okay.
Good
But
segue.
I was wondering
That was
if you do give allowances sometimes, because last week or the week before, whenever it was, when you were saying you didn't think any of that even happened, you thought
Right.
Mackenzie Phillips was lying, she's stupid, whatever. I kind of took back. I
step
withdrew from you. I didn't want to. And if you came in and said, "Oh, you look beautiful," I'd say, "I don't even care what you think." After you said that about Mackenzie Phillips, you know what I mean? So I kind of, I mean, I do see where Barb's coming from on that. If the dynamics in your little baby relationship are negative, then the next thing, maybe you're not going to say, "Oh my God, thank you, that's so sweet that you would compliment me." You would just say, "Yeah, whatever," and go on, like.
That's interesting observation.
I think that it does color how you're going to respond to that person.
Or how others will respond to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting, Carol.
Because it was very non-supportive of
But
an
you know what
environment.
relationship's really bugging me? Do you want to sleep with him? Could you just guys go do it and stop it already? Because it's really irritating. The sexual
They
innuendos
can
are-
can do it, but they have to do it in this room.
Our ratings are going to go through the roof, Jane. Barbara, get down.
Barbara, you
the
started
FCC
you started
got down
howling
on us,
before
too.
my last word came out, verbally.
They could do it orally.
Oh, shut up!
That's verbal.
That's verbal.
I'm having a shut up moment now. No, but I mean,
D, is making you uncomfortable. I feel it's making you uncomfortable. You just don't want to tell her no, or
I'm not
he can
uncomfortable
reject
about
me
that.
if he wants. I don't care.
So you would
Uncomfortable.
take-
I
you
mean,
would
she
date
says
Barbara?
it a lot, but she says a lot of things
would
a
you
lot.
date
so-
Barbara?
Would I date her?
Yes.
I don't date women that often, but
I see, but we can be friends.
we could totally be friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you sleep with Barbara?
But he said he likes sleeping with men.
No, he didn't.
I-
He said not. That's just been a
I
question.
don't know that I couldn't answer that
Right. Well, Barbara could definitely sleep with you.
Well, I'm not a lesbian right now. I haven't become
That's right.
one
You
yet.
changed.
No, I haven't become one yet. I mean, I'm still interested in men.
It's a
But if he's
possibility.
interested in men more
Okay.
than women, I don't have a penis. I can't compete with a man.
No, he never said he's more interested in men. He just said he's dated
Yeah,
men
he's
more
bisexual.
often than women.
But he just said that I would prefer sleeping
No, he didn't.
I'm used to sleeping
I
with
heard
men
him say
more.
he sleeps with men,
Men more than he
women.
would.
Not
As with
necessarily. Yeah,
women.
that's just a number
Right?
of
Is
things.
that what you
Yeah.
said?
What did you say?
Way
Well,
more.
a number of
Wait,
things.
wait.
So I don't have a penis. I don't have a chance. I have balls, but I don't have a penis.
Oh, way more.
Maybe in my next life I'll have a penis.
You
But
can
people will
use
call me a dick,
Have
but
you
I don't
got
have
the
a
strap
penis.
on.
No, I don't think that's what he's looking for. He's looking for the real
Oh
thing.
my God.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't even. Yeah.
A
don't
vagina
even
doesn't
actually-
cut it. It's a little penis.
That's well, no. Anyway,
Why?
I don't even have anything to say now.
You're struggling to try to say it.
No, I actually don't even want to say anything.
Come on,
didn't-
because
oh.
I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Thank you, though.
You're welcome.
Well, then you just put us in a
nothing.
really weird position.
Well, I feel, well, the thing that's going on is just a little uncomfortable. You know, I mean,
Why?
I see
Why is it
we're attracted to
uncomfortable?
each other. It's like watching two people flirt in front of me.
So?
It can be a little irritating.
It's
don't
better
you think?
than yelling
I mean,
at
just-
each other 24
Yeah, but
You know what?
Right.
Just take it maturely to one step or another. I mean,
But
move
you're
it
right.
along.
But why do
Because
we
it's
have
stuck
to-
in this group and in this environment. It's stuck in high school, and it's
What?
just irritating.
Okay, what is
Why
Shanti
is
trying
flirting
to say?
necessarily
Oh,
high
come
school?
on.
Ashanti,
what are you trying to?
Hey.
Hey, you're
weird.
right. Hold it, please. You're writing the script.
I'm a writer.
Yeah. Well, see, it shows.
Why
No,
is-
serious.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
No.
No, because I feel.
So, he wanted to say something. I thought he wanted
Well, he's
to-
thinking what I'm
I
thinking
think he's
right
trying to say something.
I want to know why you think flirting is necessarily high school.
No. I don't think flirting is high school. Flirting is obviously an important
Well, that's what you said, though.
part of courtship. But flirting
Part of
as-
courtship. It has to be part of courtship.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
can't you just flirt to flirt?
Yeah.
No, I would think. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I would flirt to go to eventually try
Well,
to build
right.
something
Because
with
it gives
somebody.
you
See
real black
things in
and
one
white.
dimension.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I
Right,
just
that's
wouldn't
one
go
dimension.
flirt.
Have
I
that.
think that's irresponsible behavior because you could lead people on.
Well,
if
we
you
know we're
if
not
you
leading
work
each
with a
other
lot of
on.
people,
This
you're
is
going to
You know, to
find
be
one or
honest
two a
with
month
you-
that you're going to be
Script again.
interested in.
But see, this is mutual.
You
This
know?
is mutual
I mean,
flirtation.
Something.
Wait.
something-
I
attracted to
don't.
each
Everybody
other.
has to
What's
be
the
quiet
big
because I
deal?
don't know who has the floor. So does the left side want
No,
the
I
floor, or
think
does the
they-
right side
you
want
go
the
ahead.
floor?
I wanted to respond to Kay because I'm fascinated by your desire to be able to control that situation because of your discomfort.
Right, right,
You know,
right,
I mean,
right.
the problem that
Have to get married.
that I see is that if something makes me uncomfortable, I got to deal with it. I have to deal with it.
Right.
Not that you have to deal with my discomfort.
Thank you.
Right, but part of the group is for me to let them
welcome.
know that. It's part of our
Okay,
job.
if you expect us to have sex and
We-
get married,
No,
get
no, not
engaged, get
necessarily.
married, then have sex.
I just think in this bubble, this group, not that
It's
flirting
just-
is
it's
bad.
just- but it's mutual flirtation. It's
I know.
totally mutual.
beautiful
I'm
thing.
not-
Oh, I know, I
she's not
know.
leading
It's a
me
fine
on,
thing.
I'm not leading her on. We know exactly where we're coming from.
Right.
Literally.
But
So
it's
why does
because
that-
it's in a group.
Would you have a
I don't
problem
mind.
if he and I
Bothers me.
became friends after the group?
But it bothers you because you
I-
think
it bugs
because you
me.
think there needs to be something that comes after that.
No, I-
because in your mind it's
Yeah.
like you only flirt to get something.
Right.
To have sex.
That flirting can be an end in
and that's
itself.
what makes you uncomfortable.
Maybe. Let me think about that. Let me
Very good.
absorb that.
Very good.
You're married, though. I mean, what
Flirting
you know,
can be
it's
fun.
like
It
you
can
have
be
this-
fun just
this-
for
Yeah,
itself.
but it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
No, it
Does
doesn't.
it?
No.
Yeah,
Does
maybe
it?
it does.
Yeah.
It could be right
Just
at that
what it is.
situation.
If
right
he and
now.
I became
Maybe it happens
just
for
even
10 seconds,
friends and not had
and then it's
sex.
gone.
Yeah, it's an end in
It's
and of
not
itself.
impossible that it could lead to
not
something
just
else,
see sex
but
out of it.
it might just well be in a lot of situations like that it happens for like several seconds
Maybe we met
and
for
then
a
it's
reason.
gone.
I don't know.
Okay,
what
and
it
it doesn't
is.
make anybody else, Carol, it doesn't bother you?
Oh, it would never bother me what they do. I'm trying to think if I don't think I flirt with anybody ever anymore. I wish I flirted more often.
I don't flirt that
But I don't-
often either.
I don't think I do, but I do think that when I flirt, it's because I want to explore where it could go.
Right.
Well, but that's what she said.
Right.
I know, but I
he
don't
and
care what you guys
no,
do.
No, but the point is, it's like she sees a beginning, middle. We don't know. We've known
We're
each
just doing it
other.
to do it.
Barbara,
Well, you
I
brought
want
it
to
up.
tell you something about yourself.
Okay, good. I'm listening.
It's okay, but it is something you should know about yourself. You're judgmental.
Well, don't think you're not alone. This is a chronic problem. It's
Yeah.
universal.
I'm judgmental because it
very
makes me
judgmental.
uncomfortable
Yeah.
that they're.
But we're not having sex on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you say it makes me uncomfortable, okay, now, Barbara, I'm trying to do something with Kay, so I do want you to let me do that and to have the floor so that I can do that. Thank you. If you actually can hold to this, I'll love you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, uncomfortable is not really very explicit in terms of, what it means.
Like
So
their behavior is uncomfortable. Can I be more specific? I mean,
I think
it's
you
annoying.
are judgmental of it. I think you don't think they should be doing it.
no, I prefer them not to do it around me. Does that make me judgmental, or does that make me just a control freak who wants to control my environment?
Okay, I'll amend.
Wrong with it.
I'll amend my assessment. It makes you a control freak, not
okay.
judgmental.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm
So
work on that.
apparently you already know that about yourself.
Yes. I'm going to work on that.
Well, again, I don't think there's any problem with anybody embodying any attribute. There's only a problem if we're not conscious of it and we act it out in ways that become not useful in our relationships.
Right.
So unconsciousness is a problem because when we're unconscious of something, we do tend to manifest it in ways that don't work.
You mean
for us.
Right. And
Subconscious
so if I
or
asked you to
unconscious?
stop,
No, I mean
because
unconscious,
it's making
Barbara.
me feel
Well,
that
that means
way.
you're unconscious.
You mean the flirting?
Yeah, would that be? You guys wouldn't do that.
No, wait,
Or
wait,
is that
wait.
not? Is
I
that
didn't hear that.
unacceptable for me?
I didn't hear it.
Is it wrong for me to want you to stop?
Yes.
No, it's
Yeah.
not wrong.
Well, it's not wrong.
It's not
It's not
wrong,
wrong, but it doesn't
when
mean
you
you're not
Is
gonna
it wrong
continue
for
to
me to
do it.
expect you to stop because it bothers me?
Okay, don't answer that because I want to answer it. There is
This is where I'm
nothing
having
wrong
trouble.
about any impulse, any thought, or any feeling because they are who we
right. But I
are.
don't
This is a
want
good thing.
How am I affecting them?
There is something wrong if you aren't aware that that is who you are,
Right.
and you act out who you are without consciousness that you're acting that out. It is not
Okay.
wrong to want to control the universe. Believe me, I want to control the universe.
Okay.
But if I start acting controlling in the universe
Right.
of people, of governments,
Right.
of Jews by killing them and whatever,
Right.
however I might manifest my need to be in control, I'm going to end up in trouble, and those around me are going to end up
Right.
in trouble. So it's wrong. Unconsciousness is wrong.
So
That's
what's
the only-
unconscious? I don't understand the
Not being
unconsciousness.
aware that you're.
I'm totally aware. It makes me uncomfortable. I wish they would stop. I would I would love for them not to do it in front of me, and I
Flirting.
would like them to love me enough not to, because
Okay.
they know I'm sensitive
No,
to
I'm
it.
sorry. I
Is Kay's
can't.
cl-
Sorry.
is-
So-
That's
And
how
then
I
maybe
feel.
I-
Mine is cleavage was the same basic thing, right?
That bothered
Yeah.
you too.
Same
And
thing.
I show
Same thing.
cleavage.
Same thing.
Same
Same
thing.
thing.
Cleavage.
So
Yeah,
I'm.
same thing.
You're
some
trying to
point
control
I'm going-
everybody in the group,
I'm
Kay.
going wrong.
I don't feel bad flirting with him. It
No.
makes me
Oh,
feel
no.
good.
I don't
It's
know
not-
if she's
I
should
trying
be
to.
happy for-
She's expressing her feeling.
Why?
We
I
don't know
can't feel
if she's
good for
trying
it?
to control people.
Yeah, she is. She definitely
She's
is.
expressing the
Definitely.
feeling she has.
we
Is she
need
trying to
stop.
control? That's the
Walter,
question.
Walter, we need to
That
stop.
makes me very
She is trying to
mad. That
control,
makes me
and there's
very
nothing wrong
pissed.
with it. But I think we're going to talk next time about the difficulty of acting out your impulses.